Hey, how you guys doing out there tonight? Woo! Welcome to the Party Hog Road Story Show number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these freaking things we've got so far. I hope you're having a great Labor Day weekend, long weekend. Hey, most musicians, every weekend is a long weekend. We don't work Mondays. My hair's looking good. I don't have the breeze going tonight. No, none of that kind of crap happening. So, welcome to the show. Hey. Before we get started, we got to check things out. Check. Seems to be working. So far, so good. Hope you guys can all hear me out there. Hope you guys can all see me out there. Tonight, we're trying something new. Streaming live, multi-streaming. We, at least I hope this is working. We should be on Facebook Live on my Party Hog page right now. We should be on YouTube, and we should be on Twitch, whatever the fuck that is. Twitch. Anyway, I'll use it. It came with the new service I'm using, so why not? We may as well do that. Say, hey, you know what we do here? This is what we do first. We grab a drink, and we go, hey, sociable! Can I get a cheers to you? Booze up out there. Booze goes down. I just gave that's my Colty look from 90 Day Fiancé. When I talk to you, I'm then going to, 90 Day Fiancé. I better hit the load comments here. Look it up and see what comments we got coming in on Facebook tonight. That's even if anybody's watching. You guys are probably all sitting out in your backyard, having a nice family time tonight, all that kind of stuff going on, you know? So anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to number 8. Again, thank you for tuning in and supporting the show every week. Before we go any further, I'd like to remind you all, oh, God, let's see. Look at this. What am I doing? Where's my production manager? Dave. Semenko. Where's Semenko Dave? Dave, where are you? Friggin' road manager idiot. Doesn't know what he's doing there. Production guy. Anyway, yeah. Don't forget, this show is brought to you by and sponsored by Fortification Security Solutions. If you need a locksmith, you need any kind of security, you need any kind of doors, stuff, locks, keys, whatever. You lock yourself out of your car, you lock yourself out of your house, your motorcycle too, you can do that. Call my good friend Fort C. McMurray. I wonder what the C stands for. I don't know. I should ask him that. But that's his real name, folks. How many other people do you know that are named after a town? Is there somebody called Regina out there? Oh, they say Regina, though, right? Yeah, we know. Fort McMurray, Fortification Security Solutions. He's the guy. He is your guy. All right, well, let's start the show. Now, what I like to do to get the show going, if it's going, because I still really can't tell yet, seems to be. Nobody's telling me otherwise. I guess I don't get to see the Facebook chat when I don't. You see? This is what happens. You're learning. I'm learning, folks. Multi-stream, but I can't do certain things. Well, that's a bummer. Anyway, I don't need to see the comments, do I? Well, maybe I do. What the hell? Anyway, what I'm going to do here is distracted driving. Woo! Yeah. That's the sound I make, folks. All right. I'm just looking here on to make sure that we are indeed working here. This is working. Oh, look at this. 17 comments. A bunch of people tuned in. It would help if I turned my phone down. There it is. Okay. Got you on the phone and on the TV. Thank you very much. Oh, my God. That means it's working. I really appreciate you guys letting me know that. Thank you. Thank you. Send some love. Send me some love. So, let's get the show going here, man. It's been, 5 minutes? I haven't done a goddamn thing yet. I like to start up the show every week with my story, my continuance. Oh, fuck. It's going to be one of those shows, folks. My continuing story of my top 10 best gigs and my top 10 worst gigs. And today we are up to my top 10 best gig of all time. We are up to number 6 on the list. The Rialto Hotel in Osoyoos, British Columbia, 1983. The reason this is one of my best gigs of all time, boys and girls, was because this is one of my first road trips. Not my first gig on the road, but my first gig for a road trip. It was about a 3-week road trip. We'll call it a road trip. We'll just go with it. It was my first one. The Rialto Hotel. Let me tell you what happened, folks. Well, it was just happy to be in a band. We were off to get our first gig. And, well, we were going to use our drummer's truck for the gig. He had a 4-door Ford. And literally 2 days before we were about to leave for our trip, the owner of said red Ford pickup truck, our drummer's dad, says, "You're not taking that anywhere. You can buy it. You can buy it from me if you want." So we got a loan immediately. Luckily, our guitar player he had a family member, his dad, who worked at a Royal Bank. Thanks, Rod. And he got us a loan, literally a loan, like right away. And we bought that truck for $4,500. I mean, what kind of dubbies plan a road trip but we could just borrow Dad's truck? No, Dad's going to sell the band the truck first before we go out. So anyway, we were all excited, hitting the road, couldn't be happier. Well, that leads me to my next up here. The top 10 worst gigs of all time. Number 6, ironically, I don't know if you guys have sensed this theme that I've been going with so far, but it being the same gig as the best one. But here it is again. Number 6, the Rialto Hotel in Osoyoos, British Columbia, 1983. Same week, best gig of my life. One of them anyway, but also one of the worst gigs of my life. Because the day that we left to go on that road trip, to go down to Osoyoos to play that weekend, I had a wisdom tooth pulled out at 3 o'clock that afternoon, and we drove down in the truck, got to Osoyoos at about 6 o'clock, and I sang that night, and I tore all the stitches out of my wisdom tooth there, and it hurt like hell. And I was pretty disgusting, spitting up blood most of the night. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is a couple of nights later, Saturday night, my tooth's starting to be a little bit better there, starting to heal a little bit. Still hurts, but, I'm not spitting up blood anymore. So I thought I'd get blood from some other body spot. I don't know if you guys can see the line in my forehead here. Shiny forehead. What did I do? We were playing the song Hurts So Good by John Cougar. Pick a name, John Mellencamp. Fucking go with it. We were playing Hurts So Good. And our drummer, my drummer, Tim, would hit the cymbal. And the cymbal he'd hit it, and it would come down and then come up and do what cymbals do. You've seen cymbals. You know how they work. So trying to be cool, I would hit the cymbal with my head. It's like, you hit that cymbal, and I'll hit this one with my forehead. Bash. Well, Tim decided to hit the cymbal I was going to hit with my forehead a split second before I did. And when he did, it came down and then came back up. And literally, I got the Stone Cold Steve Austin slice across the fucking forehead. It was just a perfect zip right across there. And I'm bleeding like crazy, man. It's just full on wrestling. Dave. You guys see Dave back there? Aren't you supposed to be working the show, buddy? Come here, man. Look at this prick sitting back here. Hey, everybody, say hi to Semenko Dave, my beloved road manager and show producer, who's obviously taking the night off here. Dickhead. Anyway, so there we go. Sliced my forehead, bled all over the place. It was disgusting. People left in droves. Sad shit, man. Anyway, that's how that works. Good to see you guys. I'm seeing some of the comments coming in here. Oh, hello, everybody. Good to see you all tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in. So, without any further ado, I think it's time that we get on with the show here and bring in my special guest for this week. I've known him for many years, loved him for even a few more than that. No, that's not possible. My younger brother from another mother. All that, I don't know what am I saying here. Just, ladies and gentlemen, a good friend of mine. Will you please welcome to the show, the one, the only, Crazy Dave Williams. How you doing tonight, Dave?
Doing great, man. Surviving the weekend. We had a little bit of a busy one, so it was good to be busy, but I'm enjoying this interview so far. The funny guy. I just wanted to add something to your story of the
Yeah.
line across the head. I kind of did something like that too, and this was at King's Night, and I was doing the windmill with my arm with the mic, and I decided to come back up and sing, but the momentum, it
Yeah.
I hit myself right in the forehead, and there was a grill, an actual
Yeah.
grill bleeding.
I remember those grill marks. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. No, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I got some chipped teeth from it too. So it's I just want to add in there, man.
I don't know.
Great shit,
I don't know.
man.
If, we'll take a quick side detour. I don't know if you remember, like, how, me and Rolly used to do that when we were in Joe Rockhead together. We're like, and step back, and then, bam, just headbutt our microphones. Stupid ass shit. But I mean, that's what bottles of Black Sambuca will do to you. But then, yeah, I'd get home, and it was like you took the end of a 58 ball, dipped it in red ink, and went right on your forehead. You got those little tiny little mesh dots on your forehead. God. All right. Anyway,
I
good
think I
to
was
see you.
on. Yeah, good to see you too, man. I think I was on stage with RATTPOISON, and Roy Shermack had a look at me and just bust out laughing. I'm like, what? And oh man, I'm bleeding.
You gotta, yeah. Well, it's hard to tell that. Tell the difference between that and the sweat going on, isn't it? That's just it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're bleeding. What? I'm bleeding. Holy shit, I am. So, yeah, you guys had a gig at Shocker Fest this past weekend here in Edmonton, a live outdoor event. Can't believe
Yes.
it, but I mean, damn it, a live outdoor event with your band Renegade. How'd that go?
It's nice to be on stage, be in front of some people, be able to do that. We've written some songs, so it was a place to test them out and stuff like that. It was a good time out there. The weather worked out, and we really couldn't ask really for much more than that. So we had a good time. Yeah.
Good to hear. So, let's start the interrogation here.
Oh, sure thing.
That's what you do. Oh,
All right,
cheers, buddy. Hey, me too, man. I got mine. You got yours. Cheers, bud. Thanks for coming to the show tonight. Cheers, everybody out there, too. All right? All right. Hi, Sassy Donna Mitchell. She's sending her love to you, Dave. There we go. Say hi. All right. Dave. First question, Dave.
Yeah.
Where were you born, buddy?
Well, maybe it's probably pretty boring, but I was born right here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and was born at the Misericordia. It was December 30th, and I was about a 6:38 in the evening baby, so I ruined everybody's supper, and that's when I was popped out, and the world hasn't been the same since.
Pretty much not since. I did manage to find a picture of you, and I don't know. Cue the. Oh, I don't have the aw sound. I'll have to. You know what? I'm gonna go with this sound instead here. All right. There we go. Whoa, there he is. Crazy Dave at 6 years old, man. Look at you. I mean, you don't look like a troublemaker yet at all.
Oh.
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, well, and I think every little kid at that age experimented with matches and stuff like that. So,
now, I do want to, I want to just throw something in here before we get into the meat of the questions here. I've got some stuff that I want to let the viewers out there know about. Dave's grandfather is somewhat notorious Canadian legend.
Yes.
Very
pioneer,
very much a pioneer, especially in these times today, man. Especially with everything that's been going on and stuff out there in the world and that. I mean, I recall you sending me this info a couple of years ago for a gig and stuff. But it was nice to reread this today, and I'm going to take the liberty here and just quickly throw this out, and you enjoy this as well too. I'm going to read what we got here. This is about Dave's grandfather, and his name was Leonard, or Len. He was born on April 19th in 1885 in Eupora, Mississippi. After the Civil War, the southern United States harnessed much hatred, racial violence towards African Americans. And then after seeing his best friend lynched by the Ku Klux Klan, Len fled the United States and sought refuge in Canada. In 1910, he secured a job as a caretaker with the Northern Alberta Railway, where he worked on one of the most popular passenger services running from Edmonton to Waterways, which is downtown Fort McMurray, known as the Muskeg Special. 28-hour trip between Edmonton and the Waterways there. He became a very loyal and trusted employee, and in 1925, he became the rail conductor as well, too. Now, dignitaries, small children, important cargo were placed in his care during the 28-hour trip, and he was so respected that he was chosen to assist in shipping the original bison that would stalk the Wood Buffalo National Park in northern Alberta. He remained a conductor for 35 years, retired in 1960, worked as a jail watchman for the RCMP detachment. He sadly passed away in December of 1977, leaving a legacy behind. I'll take my bug out there. This is a plaque that is in Wood Buffalo Park, and it's he's also got Williams Drive and Williams Garden, a couple of streets named after him. Dave, that is really something cool. Did you get to meet your grandfather? Were you old enough to meet him?
I actually did when I was a little kid. I did have a little bit of time with my grandfather, and I was one of his favorites, always sitting on his lap, and, like grandfathers do, don't tell your mom, and, slip a couple dollars into my pocket and I'll go have some fun and stuff like that. Very, very sweet man. And yeah, the story is an absolute complete mind blow, knowing what he went through, and to get up here and in Canada in a much different situation, and it really, Canada and Edmonton and everything just opened up for him, and he was able to do exactly what he thought he probably wasn't going to do, or worse, be killed at that time. And having him do that for 35 years is an amazing feat. So that's something that I take pride in, and something that I want to match myself just in music, that I want to make sure that I make his 35 years and then try to pin on whatever I can when he was dealing when he was working for the RCMP. So I think 7 years there. So I still have about 9 years left to go here. So
good job, man.
I'm working on year 33 so far right now, and that happened in July.
That's obviously extremely proud of your grandfather. I mean, and rightly so, to be a pioneer in that way as well too. Like, yeah. I don't think a lot of people know this about Edmonton. Edmonton had a very dark history with African Americans at the turn of the century. It was not a friendly place. So even due to the fact that he came here when there was still a lot of racial stuff going on big time around here in Edmonton, and for him to excel the way he did is really a testament to who he must have been as a person, his character, and all that. And applaud him, and very much so, very much deserving of the plaque up there in Wood Buffalo Park. And like I said, you got to be proud as hell, man. Really, that's really cool.
Just simply amazing, man. Simply amazing. Reading that story. Just a cute little story that my daughter was really asking about her grandmother and grandfather, and I sat her down and I told her a little bit, and then I showed her what you were showing there and the website, and she broke down bawling and couldn't believe the amazing story that my grandfather has, and what he's been through and everything. And it's a real inspiration to her, and it is to me also too. I wouldn't be here doing this still if I didn't have something like that around me and something to live up to. And I'm very, very proud of what my grandfather has done, and I really do thank the city of Fort McMurray for recognizing him, and getting some streets out there, and that monument in Dickinsville area. It's thank you, Fort McMurray. And it really is just, a mind blow, man. I don't know what to say. It's hard to bring up words because they did honor him in that fact. And it's really an emotional thing. And I don't want to get into but
I know. Yeah. I can guess
it's
that.
A huge thing. Yeah. I'm absolutely honored.
Well, especially normally arenas, streets, neighborhoods are named after prominent, rich white guys. So to have a street named after, you know, a proud African American working in the city up there and doing what he did. A couple of streets and a plaque. That's just anyway. That's really cool, man. And you know what? I'm just gonna say this. Hey, aspiring filmmakers out there, why the fuck have you not made a movie about this guy yet? Seriously, wake up, get on it. This is a Canadian historical figure. Get on it, and you know, make a movie about it instead of make a movie about Cardi B's wet fucking pussy. I don't know. Dave, I didn't know what WAP meant today, and then I saw a video of some guy some old dude reading the lyrics. I went, oh God, is that what it is? Oh God, I wouldn't know a Cardi B song if it came and slipped me. I don't got a clue. I'm so way out of it. Anyway, Dave, so let's move on, buddy. What's your first real musical memory? What's the thing that made you go, music? This is it.
Well, there's probably three little stories that all, you know, conjoin together about, you know, the first musical experience. And the first little thing is that I got my first Kiss record when I was 6 years old. I remember going out with my mom, my aunts, and all that stuff.
Which one?
Well, it was the very first one.
Oh, the first one.
And I was, so I was 6 years old, and this was 1975, 76. We go out to, I think it was Londonderry Mall, and we went out and we're in the record store, and, you know, everybody's picking out records, and I'm starting to feel left behind, and I'm starting to throw a little bit of a temper tantrum. And like, oh, go pick one out. And as I'm looking, you know, I see this one, and there's these four faces, and it's kind of like, at that age, it looked like cartoon clown sort of thing. I want this one, and not knowing, you know, what was going to be inside of it, or, you know, like, and so I took it home. It was the best babysitter ever they have ever invested in. You know, I had one of those flip up record players and put it on and put the needle on, and I spent hours and hours, and which became days and weeks listening to that record over and over. So, having that happen, my mom obviously seeing that I was really interested in that sort of music, and she, you know, was no slouch herself. You know, she was into Sabbath and
cool,
Humble Pie and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and so she bought me Alice Cooper Killer, you know, with a big snake on front.
Yeah.
Yet again, another investment in a babysitter not needed. It was just a record. Back in my room, I go and listening to all this stuff, and it's, you know, I'm really confused by, you know, the songs and stuff, you know, Dead Babies, Desperado, Halo of Flies, Under My Wheels. You know, I like, what is this? Because it was like the next thing from Kiss, because that first album was pretty clean, you know, sounding and everything, you know, until
rock and roll. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I came across some friends that had the first Double Live album, and these guys were so into Kiss that they almost were scary. Yeah, Gene, yeah. Oh, what the hell? It was a different part of Kiss that I saw. But doing all that, my mom didn't really realize that I was sort of musical singing-wise. And she took me out to a place, it was Shakey's Pizza, I think just on 124th or wherever it was. So Shakey's Pizza. And at that time, they had a little piano there, and they had a singer, a female singer, and just a little, you know, nighttime entertainment. And, you know, they went on, and I was just enthralled, and they're on kind of a little step. So I went and sat by the step, and she's like, oh, cute little kid. Yeah. And sang a couple tunes, and then asked me if I'd like to sing something. And I just fucking grabbed that mic away from her. And I went into Twinkle Twinkle. I did Rudolph, and I'm tearing down the house. Right, because it's a cute little kid up there, and I'm tearing down the house, and you can see my mom would say, you see the lady like, fucking, all right, get the fuck out of here, you little brat.
Yeah.
Never
worked with kids. Like that's the rule. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the first time I was on stage, you know, and but it never really happened for me. Like I couldn't make the connection. I didn't really make I went back to listening to the records and all that sort of stuff. And it was pretty diverse what I was listening to. I was listening to also like the Spinners, the Platters, Tower of Power, and a lot of Motown stuff, and then a lot of that Kiss stuff. And we're in Fort McMurray, and this is a great story because this is connection, is that, like a lot of people do, I guess, you know, in the northern hemisphere during winters. They build an ice rink in their backyard, and my cousin who made it to the NHL and stuff like that, and got up there. So at that time, being 16, I was probably about 10 or 11, and we go out there, and I can't skate. My feet are doing this, and
Bambi legs,
Daryl and his friends they're skating circles around me. I got nothing out there, and I got like a little kid. I got frustrated, and I went inside and I ratted on him, and I yeah, they won't give me the puck or whatever the hell it was, right? So now I have to disturb the adults. One of them has to get up. It's my aunt. She brings me outside, yells at him, "You let David play, damn it!" Wah, 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 wah. And then slams the door, and the door is behind me closed. I look back at them like, oh shit, here we go. And so they stuck me in net and just fucking went to work on me, man. Taking shots, and I go back in, and I'm fucking crying again, and my aunt's like, "Oh, maybe you should just go downstairs and let them play, and wait till they're done, and everybody can go downstairs after." So I went downstairs by myself, and I saw an acoustic guitar, and I was like, "Oh, okay," and I picked it up, and just the first ding, and then held it down, ding, and different notes all of a sudden, like, and that's right there when I made the connection. That's where I started to chase it, in a sense, and start, okay, this is what it is. And so I got my first drum set, maybe when I was 12, 13, and started on the drums. Didn't really like being behind the drums because I wasn't close enough to the crowd. So I switched to guitar. Playing guitar, I had to start singing. Then realizing that my guitar playing is not really excelling as fast as my voice is, and just kind of put that down and concentrated on this. So,
Dave, you know what's ironic, buddy? I have memories of being a kid and going to a Shakey's Pizza and seeing the Entertainers. I wanted to be a drummer. I got into Kiss, and then I realized drumming wasn't going to work, so I went into guitar, and then guitar was like, man, I play upside down. I'm not that good. I'm a good singer. I can. The parallels in the stories growing up, man, are pretty cool. That's something I didn't realize that, man. It really freaks me out to hear the same kind of thing coming from another musician I know. The same shit. God, that's nuts. So, like, tell me about your what's the first band you were in? What were they called? What's the name? Because everybody's got a fucking dumb band name for their first name.
Well, in Fort McMurray at that time, yeah. Sorry, I didn't hear you there.
I said maybe not. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's a cool name. Maybe, I don't know. I'm assuming.
I can't remember the name, but what I do remember about the first band in Fort McMurray is that we were like the most famous band in Fort McMurray without ever playing a show, because we were just basically a bunch of fucking posers, right? We all had our hair up, we all had the kind of clothing, and we get teased, like a bunch of little Motley Crue faggots, that's what they'd say to us back then, right? So. Yeah. And they're like, fucking, you gotta be listening to Maiden and Priest. Yeah. And then we find out a couple years later that Rob came out of the closet. We're kind of like, we're gay. No, that guy's gay. Well, there is. Yeah. So I don't really remember the name of that, but the actual band, the first band I was in was just a little throw together, I guess, to get my feet wet. And geez, if Shermack's in the room, in the chat room, he would remember exactly what the band name was. I think it might have been, I think it was called Gotham City at that time.
That's not bad for a first band name, man. Like,
yeah, and it wasn't mine by any means, but so it was a throw together. We did our first little road trip, which was a 3-week sort of excursion. Our first show was in Edson. I think it was just a back to the weekend. And then Sunday travel day to Grand Prairie to play the park.
Oh, man. The old Athabasca and Edson off to the park in Grand Prairie, man.
There's good stories that come out of there, man. Yeah. That's and then crazy. So we got park, and then we went to, I think it was called the Zoo in Slave Lake, the one with the sunken dance floor. It was in sort of a barn or whatever it was.
You're right.
Yeah. That's right. That was the first few shows just to really kind of get my feet wet, and have to thank Shermack for doing that. And kind of seeing something in me and put me out there. And after I did that, now started wanting to get, because that was just a throw together. It wasn't going to be, forever or even, a project of some sort. Got together with this band and we called ourselves Jesus. Just because this band, it had a few different names, right? There was Spin Dizzy, there was Joe Mama Voodoo. Oh, no, it was called Atomic Punk. Was the very first band, and so the drummer at that time, I'm really not sure if it was Dave Swart, who plays with Conaline Crush now and stuff. If Dave was playing drums at the first gig, Tim was playing guitar. You remember Tim Salter, right?
Yeah.
And Ben, good buddy Ben, he plays in, I think, Dolly Rotten and a couple other bands. He's still in the scene and doing stuff. Okay. Ben was playing bass, and that was kind of like the first little start of playing in music and trying to get our own thing together and trying to be like everybody else. And it was really hard, man. The competition and the dedication that people put into their music and their playing back then was through the roof. You go to Crest and you just get schooled by somebody. Go and see Ettinger and just or see something like Alliance. That band Alliance. I saw them in the CI South. And just sat there, just dumbfounded, And then, other bands like Sire would come through and see them at the CI South, and you just get schooled. But it was inspiring. You'd always have to go back to the drawing board after going and seeing a show like that. And there's this one time I was in CI South and I was watching this band, and they did, I think I got there in the middle of their first set. They did their second set, and then there was a big, huge break in between sets, and I'm getting a little bit anxious of what the hell is going on. And all of a sudden, lights down, keyboard starts, and these guys roll out this damn coffin, and I'm shitting my pants. What the fuck is this? And all of a sudden, the coffin rips open, and you fucking pop up. Rah! And I'm like, whoa! And then I was like, I want to be him. I want to be him. Holy fuck is that? Yeah, seeing you do the Aussie thing, man, really, it was another jump start to, boom, you got to get in there and get your shit going, right? So, you've always kind of like been there to, I won't say, say that you're been a great help. You've always kind of been there to kind of just give my head a little, just right here like this. You never really held my hand. You let me make my own mistakes and let me grow like that, but always been there to, in support and everything. So it was, a mind blow that comes together when one of my first experience that really drew me in was happened to see you at CI South. So, love you, bro.
That's cool, man. Thanks for bringing that up, buddy. I love you too, man. My career is full of people that did something that I saw and it changed me. It didn't change me as a person, but might have steered my career a little differently, or it might have just, opened another door for me to open and look and see the potential. That's what I'm looking. That's the word I'm looking for. See the potential.
Yeah.
If I in any way did that to you, I'm honored to have done that. It was, and thanks for bringing that up. I mean, just you stand on your own 2 feet, though, buddy, because I mean. You've had a hell of a good career. We're going to get into that in a couple of minutes here. I mean, I first really met you and knew you from the years that I was playing at the King's Night Pub with and you were working there as the DJ on the weekends. And
that turned into something big, man.
God, I'm telling you, I mean, here I am playing with Joe Rockhead. I'm playing bass.
Yeah.
And I'm literally right beside the DJ booth. Where I would put my drink was where you would put your drink. So, I mean, I got to see a lot of you because we played there a lot. I'm sure you saw a lot of us in there too, as well too. But I mean, we had a good run in there for the 90s and stuff. It was a great room, and it was. I remember you had the Gene Simmons mask behind. I'd be playing away, and all of a sudden I'd look to my right, and there'd be like, Jesus Christ, it's Gene fucking Simmons, man. Like, oh no, stay. But
it was great. was great about playing that. Well, any bands that played that and having the booth right there is that, it was still when you could smoke in the bar and stuff. So I'd have a joint and take a puff, put it out, and then blow it at the band.
Yeah.
And stand back and watch them go fucking. Fuck did that fucking come from?
Yeah,
just sit back and watch them and laugh. Great stuff there, man. Great bar, man.
There we go. Like, I got a couple of my sound effects in there. Oh, you know what else we got here? Check this out, Dave.
How dare you?
Oh. Little Greta action going here. How dare you smoking in the bar here?
How dare you? Look at that, you little shit.
All right. Oh, jeez. We're going to get all the Greta bashing going on the site now here. Anyway, okay. So from there, you joined a band that was one of the first. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble saying this. You were in one of the first bands I saw that was embracing the 80s retro sound look, going for that thing. They're everywhere now, and God bless them because they're keeping the music alive. Absolutely. But you were in one of the first bands around to be doing that. There's a name of a band I worked with at the Sidetrack. I can't remember their name right now. They were doing the same kind of thing, but you guys took it to another level. RATTPOISON, I'm talking about, and you guys were with Roy Shermack. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name on drums. Jamie.
Yeah, James. Yeah. James was on drums. Heiko's played drums also in RATTPOISON too. So Martin was on guitar, Jay on guitar, and of course Roy playing bass. And it did take off. I saw something happening in the States where because purely by demographic, when you got that many people and you lose that, you start to see these festivals and stuff pop up with all these bands, and you couldn't really do that at the time because country had taken over, and then Seattle had screwed up everybody. Everybody was happy in the 80s. Seattle came in, it's like, no, everybody's got to be.
Look at your shoes.
Everything was like just gloomy, right? And so when I saw that, like, hey, I tried to get the first version of it going, and it really didn't work. And when I talked talking to Roy about it, and he's like, oh man, we can get this happening. I already know some players and stuff like that. I got the band name, and then okay, let's really try to get the clothing down, and let's really pick those songs and stuff like that. And it did hit. And with me doing my Crazy Dave stuff with the Bear, it all added to the attention of the band, and it just turned from simple gigs, and then all of a sudden in 2007. We're headlining. Well, they say close the show. I say headlining. But we headlined the Halloween Halloween.
I love
so,
that. Yeah.
We headlined. Yeah. I don't like close the show. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Fuck, it's Tesla and Def Leppard and Kiss is going to come in and close the show. Yeah. So, we closed the show. The first band on was Inward Eye, and then Buck Cherry, and then RATTPOISON. And man, that place was, it was obviously sold out. So when we went on, still roughly about 4,000 people there. And we went on, and like, there was a bunch of girls at the front. And then halfway through the set, there was no more girls. They're getting crushed. And then we're doing like some Poison tune. And there's a mosh pit happening with the Poison tune. What is going on?
Oh my God. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a clip. We have a clip from that night, and I'm going to run it for you here. Check this out, boys and girls. RATTPOISON live, headlining over Buck Cherry from the Shaw Conference Center here at Edmonton. Check this out. God damn. Fun times, man.
Wow.
Looking good. You know what? Actually, before we carry on here, let me show you now I saw this commercial a lot. This is the Rat Poison. When you were in Rat Poison, you did a promo for the local radio stations here in Edmonton, 100.3 The Bear, for the Paul Brown show. And they asked you to come on and do this commercial for you. Man, this is classic. Ladies and gentlemen, this is just classic. Check this out. I love this.
Bears Paul Brown Show, take 4.
Who is this guy?
I got us a celebrity endorsement, Mr. Alice Cooper.
That's Crazy Dave from RATTPOISON.
Oh, we can Photoshop him.
The Paul Brown Show, weekday mornings on The Bear.
Oh, that's fucking awesome, buddy. I love it. You know, and like it's just sorry about the sound quality on the Rat Poison thing there, but you know, it's nice that we have phone cameras that can capture these moments.
Yes.
And I'm kind of glad that there weren't a lot of them around in the 80s and stuff like that, or in the most of the 90s and that maybe as well too. But let's be honest, it's nice to have these clips. It's nice to have them recorded. I just wish they all fucking sounded better. Man, everybody with their cell phone. That's all you fucking hear. It's crap, man. Yeah. That shit drives me nuts. So anyway, let's carry on here, buddy. Now, let's get to the good stuff, man. Let's get to the good stuff, buddy. Where are we here? Where's my buttons? What are you lighting up there? Is that a cigarette? Are you smoking?
Well, yeah, I'm smoking, but I do have a pipe right here. You know what? Maybe I should just...
Oh, really? You got a pipe? Guess what I got? Woo!
Oh, Jesus.
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, got yourself a nice
charter. I'd really love to have a puff right now, and I might get there soon, but I still got this next little bit. I really need the technical shit to be happening here because I got a lot of clips that I'm going to be running here for you. You joined a band called, with one of the greatest names ever, I think as well, too. I'm going to just throw this up here. This is Killinger. You joined this band. What year did you join the band?
I think we started up. It was the guitar player and myself had a little meeting, and that's kind of in and around. It was about 2009 when we started talking, and then started recording and got stuff out there by 2010.
Wow. So yeah, that's about the right time. Yeah. So that's Doc on the left.
Yeah.
You, Chris, and I'm sorry, I don't know the bass player guy.
That's Justin Craig.
That's right.
JC.
Justin. Sorry, Justin.
Yeah.
I do know you. Yeah. I just smoke a lot of pot, buddy.
That's all right. Same here.
So now you guys worked on an original CD, and this is the CD cover here, Killinger. I mean, that's a great album cover. That is a classic. Now, I want you to tell me a little bit about the CD, because I know that when you guys were recording this, you had not only some special guests, but you guys had some real top-notch talent working on the CD for you guys as well, too, didn't you? Like Mike?
Yeah.
Mike Fraser?
You know, the induction of that CD, when we were trying to record it, we had a real fuck of a time getting started and stuff. And at one point, you know, out of frustration, Kevin says to me, let's just go to Calgary, Twisted Sisters playing at some place, and let's go check them out. And when I got in there, I ran into Rick Pluster. And Rick, I don't know if you guys know him, remember him from the scene. He was a Guitar Wars champion, one hell of a fucking goddamn goalie. But I used to, when I was on the road, he'd do sound at the Sky Room and stuff like that and other places. And he was really good. And so he just continued on that stuff. And he'd been recording and working with a bunch of, great people. But when I saw him, I went right up to him. I'm like, dude, hey man, long time. Hey, we're doing this. We need help. Yep. And he was still living in the States at that time. He talks to Kevin, and Kevin, calls me. Rick will be here in 2 weeks. I'm like, fuck yeah, here we go. And that was really what cemented all that stuff. He really showed us, how to work in the studio and stuff like that. He wasn't like Bob Ezrin with a whistle, and it wasn't boot camp or anything, but it could be frustrating at times, doing things over and over and over. And that's some of the stuff I didn't really know. So really just jumping into the the water with both feet, and and we made it out. But with his direction and his contacts, he was able to call up a drummer from a certain band. It was called Black and Blue, and the guitar player from that band is Tommy Thayer, who's now doing Space Ace. Yeah, and so he brought him up. Initially, Pete Holmes, and that's the drummer. Initially, when he saw the lyrics and stuff like that, he's like, "What the hell is this shit? Who the fuck is going to sing this?" And then he met me and went, "Oh, okay, yeah, I get it now." So we got Pete, and Pete is now currently playing in Rat, and he has been for a little bit, quite a few months, maybe a year or so, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter, but he is playing in Rat now. So when you see that commercial on TV with Rat or whatever it is, what is it, Geico or whatever the hell it is?
Oh yeah, he's in it, eh?
Yeah, that's him. That's him in the video there, playing the drums. That's Pete. He's a great guy, man. Absolutely great. And also, Rick had also worked quite a bit with George Lynch. And at that time, the vision was trying to get quite a few special guests on there. So we were trying for Brad Gillis, we were trying for Jakey Lee, we were trying for Zach Wilde, we were trying, for a lot of people, and just nobody wanted to get involved because they don't know who the hell we are, right? We had money to pay, but they just why do I get involved with something that isn't something that's established and isn't going to further my career type thing, right? Mm-hmm. So we did get a bite, and that was George Lynch, and he's like, "Yeah, sure, man. Pay me this much, send it to me, and send me a little extra for my engineer, and I'll send you something." And we got it back. Rick had to do a little bit of magic, just to put things in places, and we have George Lynch on the album. And also, incidentally, a local Canadian and also a Juno Award winner, Bill Bourne, came in and did a bunch of the backups. Yeah, did a bunch of the backups. And so we got Bill Bourne in there, which is a great little thing. And, so we're doing the right things now for the behind the scenes of who do we get to mix and who do we get to master. And so getting it mixed was, there's another thing I think with Rick, that he knew Mike Frazier. He used to work at Little Mountain or, whatever it was, Mushroom or what, and we got him to mix it. And initially, he was just going to do one song. And then he came back to us, "Okay, I'll do 3 songs." And then he came back to us, "All right, I'll do the whole damn album." We're like, "Fucking hey, thanks, And so we did the album, and and I actually, we all went down there, we listened to it, and actually, the board that it got mixed on is the same board that was used for Sonic Temple, the Cult, that was used for Dr. Feelgood, that was used for Metallica Black album, that was used for, I don't know how many more albums.
Too, yeah. God,
and all that sort of stuff. Crazy about people, fucking on that board. So it was seeing it was you're Star Trek, just wow. It was just really, really cool to have him do that. And man, Mike Frazier is an absolute fucking sweetheart of a guy, man. Just great, man. And so now that we've got that, it's now about the mastering. Now, I think it might have been through Mike's help that we were able to go to New York and get our stuff mastered at Sterling Sound. And Sterling Sound, in case you don't know, I think maybe I don't really know how many people on there, but it's a fucking mind blow. And if you just put in Sterling Sound, New York, and you see the list of who they mastered, unbelievable. So we're with Ted Jensen, and right beside is George Marino, who does every AC/DC album. Masters everyone, so we're right next door to him, and just whoa, we're just in so much shit. They had a picture in there, and they have what's that Zeppelin song where they're playing and they recorded it outdoors and you can hear the plane or whatever in the background. I'm sure some people know what I'm talking about, but they had the fucking picture of them outside recording, on Jimmy Page's property with the plane in the background, and I was like, holy shit! These plaques, the Eagles, 20 million units sold, different stuff. Are just, oh my god! And here's the funny story of doing that is that when we're going to New York, we got to play it up, so we're drinking on the plane, just getting fucking crazy, and we get into Times Square. It's like 2 or 3 in the morning. We walk around until about 6 and, drunk, get up, and we're a little bit late to get to our session, but didn't matter. He was still getting paid regardless. Ted's like, I don't care.
Yeah, fuck it.
You're fucking paying me. And so when I got in, I was fucking hung over as shit, man. I had, I think it was like some sort of meat on a stick, from the night before, from one of those, vendors. I had a Coke with it, and the Coke tasted like the meat, and I was just like, So it did some wild shit in my body, and and I wasn't feeling good at all. And so as when I get in there, he's got his one side, and it's got like patio doors for his, and then the other side is his office sort of lounge area. So I asked him, like, Ted, man, I am fucking fucked up, dude, man. I'm just hungover. Can I, just lay down on this couch over here? He goes, oh yeah, go ahead. And I passed out. He wake me up, like, hey, dude, come listen to this. I go in there, like, holy fuck. He goes, what do you think? I was like, yeah, book it, Dano. He's like, okay. And then I go back and lay down and pass out for until the session was done. Because the other guys were there, they're overseeing it. And then I wake up and and Ted asked me how my sleep was. And I said, oh man, it's a great little couch. Thanks. He goes, oh, I just want to let you know that's the same place where fucking Madonna comes, because he does Madonna, masters her stuff. And so when Madonna comes in and she's passed, when she's hungover or whatever the fuck, she passes out on the same couch that I was on. So I, in a way, slept with Madonna.
There you go. Yeah. Just own it, man. Go with it. Go with that. Absolutely. That's awesome, man.
So,
I mean, obviously the level. People say, oh, we're putting a CD out. It's like, all the power to him. I've done it myself, bands, solo, but to take it to that level, to get that kind of talent on board, Mike Frazier, for Christ's sake. I mean, Thunderstruck. He did Thunderstruck, folks. He did.
Yeah.
God, look up the list I did a few months ago, and it was like, are you kidding me? Again, to get professionally mastered at Sterling Sound, that's the pinnacle. I mean, you pull out any record, and it's mastered at this place or that place, one of the two, and that's it, man. And if it's not, and it's usually a like Disney level of mastering, Zeppelin level, like that kind of stuff. And people don't get it. I bought some software and I mastered it. Nah.
Yeah.
I've said that myself, buddy. I go, I got some mastering software. This will sound lickety split. It never sounds the same as it does when it's professionally done by the experts who know what they're doing. Now, honestly, man, it was a great sounding CD. You sang your ass off on it. The guys played their asses off on it. The songs are cool. The songs are definitely in that style. For sure. You guys weren't breaking any real new ground and inventing a whole new genre or any kind of thing at all. You guys were embracing it and rolling. Look at that. You see Dave?
Yeah, very much wholeheartedly. Oh yeah, I see the cat. Hold on,
here's Dave. Dave. What are you doing? He's like, I guess we woke him up. So what I want to do here is I want to play a clip from your video. And I'll be honest, man. When I first saw the video, I went, "Fuck it, man!" I couldn't have been more proud of you guys, and you especially. I mean, you really, you fucking owned it in this video. Charismatic character, sang your ass off, and the concept videos. Now I've only got about 1:20 minutes of it to run here. We're gonna run the intro, the verse, and the chorus. But what I want you guys to do, if you want to see more, look it up online. The song is called Killinger, Killinger, and the song is called Holding On. And I'm going to play this one for you right here, right now. Check this out. This is cool. Hot stuff, man. Hot stuff. That's pretty fucking
Yeah,
cool,
that
man.
video. Yeah, that was basically a 16-hour shoot. I started that at like 8 in the morning. I had to be in the makeup tent at 7 o'clock. The night before, I went out to a bar and jumped up on stage with a band, did a couple songs, twisted my ankle hard. So that whole video is done on a twisted ankle. I just went, as soon as he said, all right, go. And I just suck up the pain and do whatever. Like just before the clip ended, you see me get thrown into that chair. I was thrown into that chair at least 15, 20 times and then thrown up against the wall and then have to catch that every time that thing that read my name and my number or whatever. Every time I'd catch it, letters would fall off, or I'd catch it, it'd be upside down, or I'd miss it. And so, I had to get thrown into the wall, catch it, thrown into the wall, catch it. And so we wrapped up, I think, at about 10:30, almost 11 o'clock at night. And seeing that the video was, usually videos are all based around the singer. I didn't really get much of a break. I think I got an hour break, but, other than a set change, so, in order for me to get a little bit of rest or just, be away from everything, we did it in this huge warehouse in Toronto. And they do a bunch of films there. Like the court scene is all pre-existing scenes and stuff like that are left over. And actually part of Saw 2 was shot in this, in that very same warehouse, the bathroom scene. And that they leave all that stuff set up, like they don't tear it all down. They just build a scene, film it, and then take the cameras and fuck off. So it was cool walking around there. So we would they say, all right, 15, break 15, and we'd fuck off to one side when we make the security around try to fucking find us where we were, and that was like maybe just our little fucking being little bastards, but the place that did it was called Vision Entertainment. They've done quite a few videos for bands, Canadian bands, and you can look them up online and see their list of what they've done. Very great guys. It was awesome. I tried to be a bit of a fucking dink and say, you know what, I'm not doing anything until somebody gets me a fucking joint. That's done. Okay, let's do the scene. And then it was there like a half an hour later. And then they said, you're like Dave, you're so easy to work, much better than, and I hope I don't fucking piss him off, but much better than the singer from the Tea Party. Because when they do a video with him or something like that, they'd say break. He would actually fuck off from the set, and they'd have to roam the neighborhood to see what local little bar was open. And they walk in there, and there he is, just at the bar, just fucking having drinks and chatting, and like, okay, come on, we gotta go back. So it was much easier than that.
They're nice guys, but I could see them being a little more moodier, that's for sure, than you guys, man. That's I mean, honestly, people, go check this video out. It's a fun video. It harkens back to the the fun videos that Rat and Poison and Crew and all those bands did, man. It's got a lot of TNA and a little court scene, kind of like Sammy Hagar's Can't Drive 55. I mean, like, just it's classic. It's a great video. It's really well done. Now, you guys put the album out, and you got out on tour, and now you guys you went on the road with, God, look at this list I got here. Striper, Volbeat, Hell Yeah, Black Label Society. Who am I missing?
The first tour was Striper. Second tour was Volbeat, Iced Earth, and Hell Yeah. So
Okay.
and then it's a little bit of a situation talking about the Black Label because I wasn't there, and I
did not know that. Sorry, my friend.
Yeah, no, and I think it needs to be explained because I think a lot of people probably have a preconceived notion or made up something of what they might have heard from somebody or whatever. And it's I just like to set the record straight. That
Floor is yours, my friend. Clear the air.
I was starting to have stomach troubles, and I thought maybe and I didn't drink a lot out there, and especially the American beer, which is piss water anyway. It wasn't like I was into some heavy alcohol or anything. It was just doing everything normal and, and also taking care of myself, and making sure that every show that I'm fresh and ready, so there wasn't like, going off it wasn't a bender every night, it can't be, you have to be healthy. So when I came off the tour, was starting to have trouble, so I started, I got a juicer and I started eating some, white rice, brown rice, and and cleaning up. And I kind of felt better, but then I wasn't really feeling very good, and it just started to get worse and worse. But I thought, okay, I'm trying to reason with myself and think maybe it's an ulcer, or something like that. And it's kind of getting progressively worse, but I'm able to still kind of go and DJ and then go and rehearse. And in the final rehearsal, before we were supposed to go out, I did a couple songs, and then, in the jam spot, there was a couch there, and I went and collapsed on the couch. And right at that point, that's where the band started saying, oh, we got to find another singer. And I went home that night, and it took all my energy to get out of bed and into a car and go to a hospital. And when I got there, they, I was delusional from the pain, and they stuck me, with some morphine and said, we got to get you into X-rays. They take me into X-rays. I come back, and I'm on my phone. I'm in the holding area. I come back, my phone about half an hour, maybe not even that, 20 minutes after I X-rays, and they came in. They looked at me. They looked at my phone, and they say, "You've got 45 minutes to tell whoever you need to tell, because we have to do emergency operation right now. Your surgeon right now is getting out of his bed, putting on his shoes, getting in his car, and coming down to the hospital." And I was like, holy shit, this isn't going to be, I don't think I'm going to make the fucking tour. And so when I'm being wheeled, into the operating room, and I was fucking scared shitless like anybody would be at that point. And what really kind of made it so much easier is that the doctor, or my surgeon, his name is Clifford Sample. So Dr. Sample, just so happens to be a guitar player himself. And when I'm talking to him and I say, I'm in Killinger, and, he goes, Killinger? I just read about you guys in Guitar World magazine. I'm like, oh, cool. Oh man, cut me open, dude. That's so, so he knew who I was, from reading in Guitar World magazine. And I'm like, wow, and it made everything, kind of like just easier at that moment for what I was about to go through. When they put me under, 4.5 hours later, I woke up and I had a tube out my dick. I had 2 tubes out the side of my gut. There's an opening from my basically from my waistline right up to my sternum. They had to gut me like a fish. I had another tube coming out my nose. There's like 5 bags on an IV, and I'm absolutely fucked up. And that's when I found out that Killinger took some other singer with 48 hours notice and went out, and to me, I think it kind of tarnished the product by doing that. But I felt very much left behind. I was pretty fucking angry in the hospital to find out that they fucked off on me. So, and, that was the story. So that's why I don't have any stories about Zakk Wylde, because I wasn't there to make, I wasn't there.
Absolutely. I appreciate you clearing that up, buddy. I know I came to see you in the hospital there, and I know that was a really rough go of it there for you. My sister.
Yeah, for the situation, it was completely rough. Emotionally, it was a big fucking thing. I ended up getting so mad at the situation. Like, even when I started to get better and I was recovering, because all I could think about was fucking getting better and going out on the road, making another record, and getting back out there. And I was doing great, and I really wanted to get up playing. And I knew anything that I'd do would be in a few months. So I was trying to set up stuff, with the Edmonton School Board. I had some beach party, and then out of fucking nowhere, I was going to land 4 dates opening up for Gilby Clarke in Australia. And I couldn't get the band to commit to a goddamn thing as I'm still healing. And like, I need to get out. Where are you guys? Why aren't you here? Like, I just about fucking died. Shouldn't you be like, more than fucking willing to, get back up on stage? And it just didn't happen. And that's where I went, this isn't for me. And I quit, and I'm out of here. And, I was really angry. I probably, in anger said some shit that was, it was definitely called for. But, I look back at it now, probably wasn't most professional, but, you have to look at the situation and how I felt. And so I quit, and I took my ball, and I didn't go home. I ended up salvaging the Australia gig. and I made it out there anyway. And I did 2 dates, and I played Sydney and Melbourne, which is such a feather in my fucking cap.
Wow,
and it's
good for you.
a rarity for somebody to do that and continue on. And I felt that gig there felt like, nothing can fucking stop me, man. Like, okay, going through that shit and being able to play Australia, like, I'm not slowing down from what happened with me. And the reason why I was in the hospital and all that happened is because I found out that I had Crohn's, and it was pretty bad. And so they had to remove about 9 inches of some of my innards, some of the bowel or whatever it was.
Your intestine.
And so it's been, I dealt with it, and it was very manageable. Not until recently, it got to, like, the last 2 years, it advanced itself, and the medication I was taking, medication failed 100%. So I was left with a big dilemma of, what my specialist was telling me, that you either can take this stuff right here and you're never going to have a life and you'll never fucking do that again, or Dave, if you want to commit, we've got a 5-year here, and you'll be on it for the rest of your life, but it's experimental. But, in a sense, you have to be a lab rat, but is it experimental? So at the end of 5 years in your clinical testing, and there's only about 700 people on the planet doing this, it will go to market, and it will help to people with Crohn's and stuff like that. So I made that decision. I said, I am going to help other people out, and I will be a lab rat, and I hope this stuff works. And it's still a challenge here. Crohn's is never going to go away for me. And it's it stopped eating away at my body because of this medication. And I still have my moments of not being full of energy and stuff like that. You'd never know that on stage. But it's also a process for me to do stuff like that. I have to take a day before to really get ready for a show, make sure my system is flushed, and I'm well rested and that sort of stuff. So it is a bit of a challenge still, but I'm working very diligently to make sure that I have my health, that I can do this, and that if I'm helping people, even better. And my specialist absolutely loves my whole story of what I've been through, and has recommended me to be a spokesman for Crohn's Canada. And it was just before the pandemic hit, so we're just kind of in a holding pattern. But hopefully at some point, it might not be this year, but next year, hopefully I'll be a spokesman, and I can tell people about my story, what happened and stuff like that, and how I bounce back and how I deal with it. And because it can really become very difficult. You don't see Crohn's on me right now. Right, I'm still kind of crazy, Dave. Right, but you don't see it, so it can be very confusing to people. Like, you're not sick. I'm like, yeah, but you don't want what I want, what I got. You don't want that. So it's it can be challenging sometimes to So hoping that me doing this for Crohn's Canada will just give people a better understanding, have more information about it, and understand that people have it. They might not look sick on the outside or be in a wheelchair or crutches, but inside their insides are shattered, and they're on something just to hold it together. So a lot of people, it's kind of looked over. So if I do that, I hope I can just, open some eyes and just let, people really understand what goes on with it.
Dave, I really appreciate you opening up about that. Obviously it's not, it's not pleasant. My sister has it, has Crohn's disease as well. She, I recall in 1981, 82, when I went on my very first, or 82, when I went on my first road trip, my sister got sick, and nobody knew what it was back then. I came home from my road trip, and I remember going to the hospital to visit her, and they were still trying to pin down what it was. They didn't realize that she had Crohn's or what Crohn's was. I don't know why they didn't know about it in 1982. But I recall trying to make her laugh, because that's what I did as her big brother. So I would just say things to make her laugh, and she would laugh all right, but the pain was so much that she would start crying.
Yeah.
It's very painful to see and to watch when it's happening, and I can't imagine what you went through. And again, thanks for opening up to that, man, and kind of clearing the air and and giving some insight as to, you know, I mean, we do what we do, and we get on stage and we Yahoo it up. But when we get off stage, the reality of the world, the reality of our bodies, the reality of our minds, what's going on up here too, is it all comes back to you. You get that escape that on stage. You get to go out and party. Yeah, woo, look at me. This is great. But then when it's done, you know, people see that 45-minute or 1 hour moment on stage, and they just that's what they see. But they don't. What they don't see is the 24 hours beforehand, where you're eating this because you need to be that way tomorrow night. You're doing this because you need to be that way tomorrow night. You're taking care of yourself, and then the aftermath as well too. Being in your hotel room when it's all said and done, and people are partying while you're having to do other things. I can only imagine. Now, buddy, let's lighten the mood a bit here, okay?
Oh yeah. I didn't want to bring anybody down. I want to be a very positive thing by it, and you know, believe you me, I can still put away my fucking beer, man, and I'll fucking challenge anybody. Anybody, but you know.
I know that. I didn't mean that we were. I appreciate the openness. I mean, I wasn't expecting that, and you've even kind of caught me by surprise a little bit here. And
it
thinking
really
about
needs
my
to
sister,
be,
man. It's 35 years later, I still think about my sister being in that position, what I did to her that day, and it still hurts to think about it. You know, it really does. It's like that's a real difficult thing. So let's smile now. Give me a hug. Mwah. Love you. Let's show these people something. Okay, I got a couple of clips. We're gonna jump back to Killinger just for a little bit here, and show a couple of the exceptional gigs that you were able to perform at. I've got 2 clips, and then I'm gonna get into some fun stuff here. This is a fun. Now this is a really cool clip. House of Blues in Orlando, Florida. Am I right? Is that going to be the right location?
Yes. It's on the Disney World lot. Yeah.
Check this out, folks. This is awesome. Now, I'll be honest, the reason I kept that clip short is because that's the view of the entire thing there. And I look for those little magical moments. You guys sounded good. The crowd goes crazy. And I just love the pose at the end there where you kind of open your jacket. But this is the cool one, too. This next clip, this is the crazy Dave I know. This is, I took a clip from your gig in Georgia. I can't recall which city. You might know. Oh, hang on. Oh, sorry, bud. That was my bad. Sorry. Say that again. I had you muted there for a second. Sorry.
Yeah, it was in Duluth, Georgia, which is just outside of Atlanta.
Duluth, Georgia. Check this out. This is of all the clips, man, God, honest to God, buddy, this is probably my favorite one because this isn't even really I don't even know which song you're doing, but you're just letting fly, and I fucking love this shit. Watch this. Yeah.
Duluth, Georgia, here we are.
Now that's, boys and girls, is how you open up a fucking rock show. Power scream. Show your titties.
Well, that was I learned something real quick on the road is that your first song, the crowd is going to decide whether they're going to stick around or they're going to go for a smoke or buy a T-shirt or something like that. So you had to have something. And Chris Chalice came up with a really neat little thing, little gag for his drums and the way they were lit up. And at that time, nobody else was doing that at all. That's right. And Chris did it, and when every show, Every show, yeah, there you go.
There
And
we go,
in the
yeah.
first song, yeah, during the chorus, when it would go into a strobe effect, and everybody just, what the hell is this? And
What's
you'd
going
see
on?
all these cameras come up, and people, wow, what the hell is that? They had to tape it. So there was the draw right there in the first song was the drums, and then that last note, to let them know, like, this is shit happening.
We're taking names, man. Now, okay, I got a picture I want to bring up. I have no idea who this person is that you're in this picture with. Who is that? Who is that?
That's Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi. Good old Rich.
Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi. Are they like a boy band or something? I never heard of them, man.
I think it's female singer. I think. Yeah. So.
Bon Jovi. That sounds. That sounds like that sounds like a boy band. I'm telling you, I don't. He looks like a boy band guy too. Like he. You definitely look more rock and roll than that guy does. Whoever. What's his name? Richie Sambora.
Yeah. Sambuca.
Sambuca. All right. I don't know. What a chump. Whatever. Who the fuck he is, I don't care. Fucking anyway.
That's a great story how we met him, man. He was a great guy. We did this thing in the States, and it was called Sunset Sessions, and we were at the La Quinta Resort in Palm Springs, and it was what it was a exclusive buy-in to go in and be able to play for different people, different fields of like film, movie, TV, or film, movie. That's the same shit. TV, video games, radio stations, and all that sort of stuff. So heads of radio stations, video games and makers and stuff like that, looking for new bands to maybe grab a song and put on their game or whatever it is, commercials and stuff like that. So it's all exclusive. It wasn't open up to the public. So it's completely corporate. And before I get to the Richie thing, is that when we're on stage, there's always like I say, you always have to do something to to pop the crowd. And we're in this corporate land, and everybody's just standing there with their drinks and kind of doing this stuff. And it comes up this time where I've got to promote. The guitar player had just created this little health drink, so I had to do a little bit of promo for it. So I didn't know what to say. Wasn't really into hawking the fucking that shit. I just wanted to be about music. So I made it my own. And so I just said to, we're going to, after the set, we're going to come out and meet everybody. We're going to be handing this samples out of this drink. And I'm telling you right now, ladies, this is absolutely 100% all natural. And ladies, it's the healthiest thing you can have inside your body besides me. And then the fucking crowd just went, what the hell is that? And my fucking radio guy from New Jersey goes, holy fuck, man, what that? Everybody's like, what the fuck did you just say? And the crowd just fucking ate it up, man. We did our last song, and everybody's like, our radio guys running around telling the other bands, they're like, fucking see all these guys set the level of this fucking high. Wow, he was ecstatic. I was shaking. Like, holy shit, I can't believe that worked. I was waiting for something to be thrown at me here, Get fired, get the fuck out of here, you guys. No, they loved it. They ate it up. So anyway, going back to the story of Richie, was that we were there for a few days, and they had a few people. Billy Corgan was there. Serge Tankian was there. Some cool singer from Everclear. What's his name? Whatever. I had drinks with them poolside. Right, sure, yeah. Richard, Bruce. Yeah. So there was a daytime sort of presentation where some of the buy-on bands, would do a couple gigs, and then the headliner was Richie doing an acoustic thing. And so when he came walking in, Chris, he came like everybody's already there watching a band. He comes in, walking in, and it's poolside, it's all open. So everybody sees, and all of a sudden the band is like, "Oh, Richie's here!" Everybody's here, Richie. Chris stands up and goes, "Hey, bro!" And Richie walks right up to him, and they're having this conversation, and and they laugh and hey, I'll talk to you in a bit, and walks away. And I looked at Chris, I'm like, "Well, that was cool." And everybody's looking at Chris like, "How the fuck do you know him?" And I'm like, I don't. I just stood up and said hi, and he just, so he does his set, and it's scorching fucking hot out there. But he was is really cool to fucking stick around and take a picture, like no autographs, but I will take a picture with everybody because that's a little bit faster, right? Than having to personalize it and, ask how you spell the name, so he's just doing pictures. And I said to the guys, let's be last, man. Let's be last. And so he's just doing, and every picture's is basically textbook, same thing. He's not doing what he's doing in this picture here. When we get up there, like, hey, Richie, we're the last ones. I said, hey, man, let's fucking do something cool, man. Show the guns, show the tattoos like this. And he starts laughing. He's like, yeah. So we're doing all this. And all the people that have taken pictures already got the simple little fucking standing right beside him sort of thing. And we got Richie to come out of his shell. He's like, yeah, doing all that. And everyone's like, fucking, how come we didn't get pictures like that? And then he went, okay, guys, I got to go. It's way too hot. Bye. And he left. And so that was the picture of him kind of coming out of his shell and being a little bit more animated than the fucking 100 pictures that he took before. And that was the only picture that he did that sort of stuff with. Very cool. He was a really nice guy, man, to do that. So
I wish Richie Sambuca a lengthy career. I hope his band Bon Jovi. What a dumb name. I hope they have. I hope they have a good career. I hope they have success. Never heard of him, but
he was talking about the Juggernaut. He kept calling Bon Jovi the Juggernaut, right? Like, okay, he said it's hard for him as soon as he steps away, fucking out of that Bon Jovi fucking bubble. It's so hard for him to really get shit rolling. He has to be on stage with John to really get that attention when he does that solo stuff. And that's what he was talking about. Yeah. He did a little bit of a Q&A and was telling us that it's just, he finds it a bit difficult if he's not up there. And so he's not really with them anymore. And I don't blame him. It's, he's probably getting salaried. He is probably getting salaried, and
Dave,
fuck it.
Dave, I'll be the one to say it right here, right now on this show. Bon Jovi can't fucking sing anymore. He's lost his voice. He sings in a very tight lip. It's
and he's
awful.
Hillary.
I got a lot of respect for the guy and what he's done, and he sold 100 million records, and he used to be able to sing that shit. But when I saw them, Richie sang 100 times better than John did that night, and I don't blame Richie for doing what he did, because I tell you, the last 5 years, again, I got no hate on John, but boy, some guys, some singers, have you noticed that? Some singers, as they get older, can still sing. Sammy Hagar can still hit the pipes at 70. But
that's fucking great. Sammy's fucking
David Lee
on
Roth
top of it, man.
Lost his voice. Certain singers are able to keep their voices as they get older. And sadly, and I'm glad you and I are not in this canoe that we're paddling, are not the types of guys that when we hit our 50s and start pushing further into those age group that our talents diminish, and that we're forced to sing in a different way. Oh, God. Yeah, I see. Yeah, Steven Tyler, Deanna saying here. Who else? Geddy Lee did the same thing for me. Geddy Lee, he was never one of my favorite singers, but the last tour, I was going to go see Rush play, and I went, I can't do it. I had a free ticket to go, and I still didn't go. And I wish I had seen it because it was the last show. But to be honest, Geddy singing in a different, because of when you're younger, you sing a higher vocal range. When you get older, you can't sing that way anymore. I get it. Tune the song down. Do something different. But I don't know. I shouldn't be ragging on Geddy Lee of all things. But, I mean, honestly, his vocal tone and style changed. John's vocal tone and style changed. It's not pleasing to my ear anymore. And it's not that I feel bad. I shouldn't be ragging on these guys or hating on them. It's not hate. It's just, it's a fact. Some guys are able to get older and keep their voice. Some guys cannot. And I feel bad for them that they have to alter their singing style and or this, that, and the other thing to make it work. It's very unfortunate. But that's what you get when you're going, when you're 18 years old. And then you're
Yeah,
65 and you're going like, fuck, I can't hit that fucking note anymore. Jesus, I'm going to
Yeah.
crap myself here.
I mean,
But
Paul
again,
Stanley's having a real difficult time with that sort of stuff.
that's
you know,
another
Paul.
one.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, what I got to say about Bon Jovi is that I know that he's had vocal troubles and stuff like that, and being on tour, and they just, because you're under contract and they're just boom, fucking adrenaline shots and whatever it was, you know, steroids in his throat and stuff like that to keep him going. And I'm sure that probably played a part in taking away from his voice until he could, you know, and I'm sure he's been to see throat specialists, like a lot, like Don Dawkins, you know, has had problems with his voice. And we just saw just recently some videos come up of him, and he just, everything is singing down here. You know?
Yeah.
We're the Dream Warriors.
I agree. Vince Neil, the same canoe, man. It's just some singers are lucky that when they get older, they're able to maintain their vocal abilities, and others. And I'm thankful that I'm not in that boat. You're not in that boat. And that we're able to keep what we've sung, we're able to keep singing that way. And it must be, again, it must be heartbreaking. I tell you, because if I was in the other canoe, and my voice was starting to go where it's like, oh God, I can't sing AC/DC anymore. I can't sing that way anymore. I can't do that song anymore. I'd have a hard time continuing my career because I'd feel like, But these guys, they wrote the songs, they play the songs, they go out and tour. They have to perform the songs. And I could see it being like, me being in the audience, it was like, you know, I'll pass on this tour. I heard them in their prime. I'll take that prime. I'll leave it at that. And I can watch the video of them trying to find some way to hit that note that isn't natural, that they've taken training for. Anyway, let's get off of this bullshit here. Let's get into some good stuff here.
If I can finish with this, is the surprising guy who you'd figure his voice would be fucking trashed and he wouldn't be able to do any of it, is fucking Axl Rose, because of the way his tone is. And it just sounds like he's gargling glass, you know, the way he sings and everything. You realize he comes back and he's healthy as fuck and he's hitting it like, oh shit, AC/DC needs some help, I'll be right there, and fucking ripping out fucking all that shit and doing these huge stadium tours, and you're just like, wow, dude. And he might not sound exactly the same, but he's pretty goddamn close, man. And that's one of the guys I always thought wouldn't, you know, last, just because the way that is. I can't do his voice, you know, and do it all night long. Well, fuck no. You know, I wouldn't have a voice after the fourth song. You know, so
you're right about that.
You know.
See, with Axl, what I'll agree with you on Axl is like this came up at band practice rehearsal the other night. Like I've made this public before. I am no fan of Axl Rose. I'll get into that some other time. I got a million reasons to hate the guy, but whatever. I don't like the guy. I like the band. I love the band. Don't like Axl. Don't mistreat your fucking audience.
Yeah.
There it is. I'll leave it at that. But that being said, when I first heard that he was going to sing with AC/DC, I'm like, oh, God, you got to be kidding. Then I saw the tape. And it was like, man, you know, I saw one of Brian Johnson's last vocal performances with AC/DC here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. It rained. It was cold. It was one of the, it literally is the worst concert I've ever been to in my life. They didn't say a fucking word to the audience between songs. There was 30 seconds of dead air between the songs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the next song. And Brian was just awful. And it was like, I was so disappointed. I left there, and then when I heard that Axl had joined the band to go out and tour, I'm like, well, God, you know, I hate that guy, but no, whatever, you know. Is he going to show up? That being said, he showed up on time every single gig and nailed every single vocal part better than Bon or Brian did in their prime. And I'll give it to him. Kudos to him. Kudos to you, Axl Rose. Somebody take that clip and put it online, because everybody knows how much I've been shagging on him for the last fucking... Anyway, buddy, what is this? Oh,
all right.
Oh, there it is. Look at that. Look at how sexy you are, man. Look at. Oh, hang on. I even got. Oh, hang on. Check this out. I got sound effect for this.
Oh, hot, 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 hot,
I mean, honestly. Now, obviously, modeling is not a full-time thing. Now, you were obviously asked to help out with a modeling gig here, and this must have been just a. I mean, look at this picture here, folks. Come on. Feather in the cap. They hand you a guitar. Get out there. This is what you're going to wear. Get out there and look cool. And it's like, God damn, I do this every day. Come on. I'm Crazy Dave, man. Look at this. This is awesome. What's the story? Let's make it quick here, though. But what's the quick story behind this modeling gig that you did for this show here?
Well, as you can see in the one picture, there's a girl named Catherine. She's the one that designed all the clothing and stuff like that. And she had a spot, obviously, Western Canada Fashion Week, and asked me if I wanted to, model some clothes and go down. And I've never done any of that before. I've never even really been to like a modeling show of that level. So I was like, yeah, sure. And so that guitar, I'm like, I need a prop, and I don't need just any guitar. So I took it might have been 12, 14 hours. And when I started it like at 2 p.m, finished it at like 3 a.m, I hand laid and glued on every one of those rhinestones that are on that guitar. And and so everybody was just doing the kind of the model thing. You come, get the turn around and walk back. And when I came, I'm like, I've got to do something here. Right. And so when I started doing these poses at the end and all of a sudden the camera's just really, because they didn't see the guitar until I pulled it out. I pulled it out like a fucking gunslinger, right? And then when that guitar came out, they just walked in, holy shit. And then I go down and I'm doing those poses, and the cameras, everything just lit right up. And so during that week, I was the third most viewed picture during that those pictures of me, the third most viewed pictures during that week.
That's
fucking
cool,
awesome.
Man. I tell you, like you were absolutely a graduate of the Paul Stanley School of Rock.
Yeah.
I say that with much respect and peace and love, because I don't. Paul Stanley, his stage banter, his image, his what's the word? Not performance. His what's the fucking word? Presentation. I knew it began with a P. Yeah. Jesus, I didn't have supper tonight, Dave, so that glass of Crown Royal is hitting me pretty good here. So, I mean, that's it. That's just cool. Now, I want to get on something else here. You
all right?
You've done some acting as well, besides the Bear commercial. You were featured in a movie called Hot Box the Movie. That's the title, Hot Box the Movie. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you grab your remote control, like I do, and you press the microphone on it, like you do with Google or Alexa or Shaw or whatever, the Telus, whatever you got, take it and go like this. Hot Box the Movie, Amazon Prime. Boom. That's going to show up right away. And this movie is going to show up, and you better watch it. Dave made a few appearances in it. Now, I know there were more clips that were available that you were teasing out there, but unfortunately, this is the only clip I was able to get online today.
Okay.
But that being said, I did not know until today that this was available on Amazon Prime to watch. So I'm going to be watching the show tomorrow, buddy. Check this out.
Nice.
Boys. Check this out. I mean, this looks like a fun movie. This is from the trailer for Hot Box the Movie, featuring Dave Williams here.
What's man? It's marijuana.
You like in a band or something?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. You in a band or something? I mean, total stoner themed movie. So if you're a stoner like me, you know, like,
so, actually, Tommy Chong. Tommy Chong gave us a little shout out. Tommy Chong, if you go to Higher Universe on YouTube. He gave us a little shout out, and he watched the movie and he enjoyed it, and he recommended it to everybody. So we got, which I thought was just a fucking mind blow, getting Tommy Chong to not only watch the movie but give a shout out to the movie, man, because I used to, maybe a lot of kids, you'd find, your parents' records of Cheech and Chong, and you'd have to sneak it out of their collection and go listen to it in the basement and real low and listen to, Sergeant, Stadenko and all that sort of shit. So cool shit, man. That movie is fucking great, man. And it was a real pleasure to, be in that. Very easy for me to do. I walked in, I got my own wardrobe, I got my own makeup, I do just go in there and just, all right, go. Okay, we're done. Like, sure.
Be crazy, Dave, is basically what they asked you to do, right?
Yeah.
That's
so funny.
Tommy Chong, man.
It was a real goddamn treat to do that. And it was and if I can tell you a story about that movie, is that the movie was looking for music, and I haven't written anything in like 9 years, from Killinger. I just kind of soured from it. And I wasn't going to go and start writing unless I had, some, decent people around me that, trust thing. Right. So, I would just, joined, band, and which is now called Renegade Eye, but we'll talk about more of that in a second. But it was Brandon that said, hey, do you have any music? Like, can you maybe give you some Killinger stuff? I'm like, I can't give you, I don't want to get into the legal of all that sort of shit. I said, maybe, we can write something. So, I was all excited. So, I call up Rick, or guitar, like, Rick, man, they need a song for the movie, man. Do you have anything? He goes, oh, well, hold on, I'll come up with something. And it was like, couple hours later, he sends me the music. I go in, start doing rough tracks on it, base it off what the movie is about party smoking dope. So it's called Friend Indeed. Friend with weed is a friend indeed. So it's called Friend Indeed, and we wrote it for the movie, and it came off really fucking good. And they used it all throughout the movie, and then right at the end when they roll the credits, you get the full entire song. And so we hadn't written anything, and that was really what started us kind of on that path to start writing more and get away from the covers a little bit. But that's kind of what sparked it, was that movie. So that's I have to thank a few people, and I'll give them a shout out right now. Stephanie Harp, she was the one that after a certain sex show that I was modeling at, said, hey, you got to come here and meet this director. And I knew Brandon I've met him before, but I hadn't, really just, sat down and talked to him. I kind of knew what he did, but he wasn't really on my radar. He's doing the movie thing, I'm doing the music thing, right? So, really not on the same radar. So when I did go up and talk to him, he said, hey, if you got anything coming up, I'll do whatever, man. You just let me know. And then, and just so happened I had applied for my my medical marijuana card. Yeah. And I had got it that afternoon at 2:00. At 4:00, Brandon calls me and asks me if I want to be in a movie about fucking marijuana.
That's how the marijuana universe works, buddy. I love it. Yeah. So that brings us up. That brings us up to well, you mentioned the band here, so let's bring it in here. This is your new project here, Renegade Eye. From left to right. That would be you. That's Terry, who is my guest next week. Terry Sawbones Grant is my guest next week on the show. Awesome. So we'll do a little Renegade follow-up, as well as talking about his band Sawbones as well, too. And a couple of guys that were in another band with you as well before that, or no?
No, these guys were in a band called Right in the Eye.
That's
and
right.
Just something happened where the singer and bass player left. Whatever the circumstance, I don't think it's really important. Still friends, everybody's still kind of cool. But they just left, and they needed a singer to come in and fill in for a couple gigs. And when I was talking to Rick about it, he's saying, he didn't really have a bass player. He had a couple in mind. I said, well, the band that I was in, it was Sunset's Trip, had just kind of broken up. The guitar player just left, and so the timing for us just to jump in and help these guys out. I said, well, yeah, sure, I'll bring Terry along. He knows most of these songs and could probably woodshed the other ones, in a night and have them ready to go. And so that was kind of the initial thing of how that got together. And once we started playing and we played our songs and we kind of looking around and they're just going, fuck, this sounds like really fucking good, man. And so, we just decided to stay. Terry's got his side project and he'll talk all about that. And it's a great thing. Terry's an amazing songwriter, about the hooks, great guy, man. And, you don't meet too many people that play a 12-string bass. So absolutely fucking unique in
true.
that, in itself. Yeah.
That's
great voice on him.
Yeah, really good singer, great singer, a nice guy, like you, long, rich history and stuff. I'm so happy to see you guys still playing and stuff like that, man. That's pretty cool. Now, you guys have a gig this Saturday night at Shaker's Roadhouse here in Edmonton. I'm going to give you the plug there. $15 are the tickets. You're on the bill with Powerhouse and.
Exactly.
Somebody else. Sorry, no disrespect, man. We can't remember the name of the band, and I don't have that info in front of me. Once again, I smoke a lot.
Yeah,
of
I don't
weed,
want to. I don't want to screw up my feed by trying to check that right now.
Yeah, no. We'll just leave it. We'll just say, and to be determined. All right, but you guys are playing a gig this Saturday night here in town. Dave, we've come to the part of the program now.
Oh fuck.
Where I get to ask you some questions here. Okay. And first up, I'm going to take the bug out, the corner bug.
All right, I'm in the hot seat.
You see, you know what this is called, Dave? That's called a corner bug. I learned that when I first started doing these streaming shows. That little road story thing I got in the corner is a corner bug. And now it's gone. And now I'm going to pop up what is called the knockouts. Sorry, Dino. Thanks, Rick. Just saw that. Dino and the knockouts. God, sorry, guys. I know Dino. Much love, Dino. I apologize. Dino, Powerhouse, and Renegade Eye. God, I feel like an asshole now. Sorry, guys.
Other guys a drink for you.
Yeah, that's right. So here we go. Dave Williams. Crazy Dave Williams. Answer the question. What's the best gig that you ever played?
Well, it would have to be an experience that I had on stage when I was on tour because, Jesus, every show that we played with Volbeat was fucking amazing. Those guys had a #1 hit with Warrior's Call, and then it slipped and from #1, and then Still Counting went to #1. And the fucking crowds were just crazy over that shit. And, and being on tour with Hell Yeah and, Vinnie Paul, rest in peace, bro.
Yeah.
And, and being on tour with Vinnie Paul, there's this one little thing that happened, which I will say was probably my best gig that I ever played. We're playing the Grove in Anaheim, an absolutely huge, wicked fucking room, and a lot of people go through there. Like Kid Rock, you have to go check it out. A lot of bands go through there, and the place that they're playing, the parking lot, there's a baseball stadium like over there, massive stadium. I've never seen anything like that, man. Just fucking huge. But the story is that we're on stage doing our set, and every fucking show we're having to really amp up what we're doing because on after us is fucking Iced Earth, that's got 10, 11 albums and fucking huge in Europe and fucking huge crowd. And like, we really had to do something. And the singer who's from Stu, who's from Vancouver, actually was, give me a pat on the shoulder every night. Okay, you're really fucking winning them over there, bro. Fucking good job. Give me
right on
stuff. And it was this one show. So we're in Anaheim, we're doing the set. And and the crowd is hopping. I'm doing my job, what I'm supposed to do, warm the fuckers up, and I'm fucking frying bacon out there. And I look over to the right, and there's Vinnie Paul on a monitor, just kind of watching us. I'm like, okay, hey. And he looks at me, and goes, "Fucking right on, bro." I'm like,
cool,
hey.
Eh?
And I was going to shake his hand. I was halfway over to shaking his hand, and went, "Oh fuck!" And I had to run back and sing, and he laughed, and people in the front laughed as I fucking. very sad to grab my mic and finish what I'm doing. Yeah, so that was probably having him do that. Like it was really, I'd say probably the best moment at a gig was having Vinnie Paul fucking give me the thumbs up and fucking dude.
That's gotta be cool, man. Having a big fangirl moment, and then you realize, fuck, I gotta get back to work here. Like, Jesus Christ. All right, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, now let's take it up a notch here. Now, I love hearing about the best gigs, but to be honest, let me hear about the worst gig. The worst gig you've ever played. God, is it?
I got it.
Yeah.
Smithers, BC. Smithers. Oh,
yeah. I was hoping it would be up here. Oh my God.
Yeah. Fucking Smithers, man. The band rooms were all joined together. There were top 10 lists about the agents, and that was Feldman. And so top 10 reasons why Bruce Bromley's finger smells like shit.
Oh.
Like just crazy ass top 10 and drawings and just graffiti in each fucking room, and they're all joined together. So we went in there and we didn't have any weed, but somebody in the hotel that lived there, like a resident older guy, would sell us little joints, but they're like fucking toothpicks. But we didn't have anything. But so we're just getting this on the cuff right now. We're supposed to pay him at the end of the week. We do, our nights, and as the nights, it's getting progressively worse and worse with the crowd. And come up the Friday night, I thought there's going to be a fight between this massive native guy and me. He wanted my microphone so he could start singing and whatever. And I kind of got the mic away from him. I'm like, I don't like this. This is fucking unsafe. I feel not at ease in this place at all. And come up Saturday, we doing Saturday, and at one point, between songs, like, hey, so what do you guys want to hear? And I hear, play some Carol Burnett, you fucking asshole. And
Carol Burnett?
Yeah, that's what I thought. with the fucking asshole, on the tag, right? I'm like, what? And I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And so, like, we're gonna fucking bug out as soon as we're done. We're fucking packing up and we're fucking throwing everything in the 5-ton and we're the fuck out of there. Now it comes to that point where we're loading out, and all of a sudden the staff, it's almost like a fucking standoff between the staff, the management, who are telling us, get the fuck out of here, because we didn't want to be there, and we're fucking mad at it. And then up comes this little dude, old dude, and we owe him like $250 in these joints that we bought him. Like, I want my money. And it was a fucking, and we're trying to get the shit out as fast as we can, and it's winter, and it's now the bar's freezing. Everybody's bitching that the bar's freezing. They fucking hate us. This old guy wants his money, and we're like, we gotta get the fuck out of there. We gotta get the fuck out of there. And so happened, it was Dave Swart that was with us in the band at the time. And in the washroom, because there's graffiti everywhere, he went in there and drew this picture of this lady in the tub. Like, so when you pull it back, a nice picture of a lady, and the little caption above is like, I love to watch you wash. And I'm like, fuck, that's fucking creepy. And we found out that 2 weeks later, the place burnt down. There was some country band that was in there that had to throw the fucking shit out the window. And then, the place burnt down 2 weeks after. So, maybe a little bit of justice there, but yeah.
That's the Bulkley Hotel in Smithers. Dude, if I went around the corner and I pulled out my old road briefcase, I still have a room key from the Bulkley Hotel in Smithers that burned down. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh,
wow,
dude. I played that shithole too. And it was like, I remember this guy comes up to the stage and he goes, I know, I can't tell this story. I can't tell this story. I can't tell this story.
Yeah, it was
let's move on.
It was quite the gig. They actually had a little some strippers that would go up there, right? And it was just the place that they're stripping at, just the grossest place. These girls are just hatchet too, man. And they like, find out you're the band. They're like, yeah, we're the band. Oh, we'll come see you. We kind of like, we don't really, no,
it's okay.
But I think playing Smithers was maybe Feldman's way of, kind of putting the fucking test it, see if you can do that shit. Like, play those shit places.
It.
Oh,
you know he did that, man. You know he did that because when I worked with him, when he was working, before he went to work for Feldman, he was working at Winterland Entertainment out of Rosslyn, British Columbia, down in the Kootenays there. And it was the same thing. It would be like, are you fucking kidding? We're going where? And then where? And then there. Why didn't we go there? It'd be like, well, that's how it rolls, boys. And it's like, I didn't realize it then. I thought he was just being a difficult agent. It's politically fucking correct. I love you, Bruce. Hey, Bruce. How you doing there, buddy? Hey, Bruce. Haven't talked to you in a long time, buddy. Anyway, but that, I'm going to pay for that one. But that being said, like, he would send these bands out. And, if you could fucking cut the mustard for a 6-7 week road trip from hell.
Yes.
He knew that he could count on you to last the next 2 or 3 years that he would book you. Because if you were, oh, God, one of the first bands I was in, God bless the guitar player. I love the guy. I really do. But, you could tell it wasn't his thing. So he came up with some excuses as to why he got out of the band. And, I look at it back then, and it was like he had excuses to get out. I look at it now, and it's like, it's just the road wasn't for him, so he got out. I don't blame the guy. Yeah. I mean, it's just everybody's got their own thing kind of thing. But, still. Yeah. Anyway, buddy, let's get to this one here. All right. Now, do I need the... oh, God, hang on. Yeah. Whoa, we need the whoa part here. And hang on, one more.
And now for something completely different.
You better put the kids to bed because I got a feeling this one. I don't know, man. I don't know where you're going with the craziest story tonight. Just change the names and wear a condom. Let's go.
All right. Craziest road stories. I've got a few here. And how about the best prank ever pulled on me? And I'll leave out the band name and the people involved, but we're playing Grand Prairie. I'll say the names of the places, but we're playing Grand Prairie, and it just so happened that got involved with some girl, and she had a friend, and so me and the guitar player, decided to just hang out with these girls on the weekend stuff. Went to breakfast and. Came up time that we were going to leave the night before, or was it the night before? We had sex. There's me and this girl, and the guitar player is having sex, in the other bed, and this girl, didn't tell me. I didn't notice. I'm probably just happy that I was getting laid. That it was that time of the month. She was on her period.
Geez, Dave. Okay.
When I got up, I mean, it looked like a fucking murder scene right on this sheet. We play the show that Saturday night, and then when we're done and we're going to pack up and and stuff and get the fuck out. And I look at the front lobby, and there's a massive amount of fucking luggage. And it was this girl. She figured that she was going to go on the road with me. I'm like, fucking hell no, oh shit. And so I'm telling the guys that this is her stuff. We got to get the fuck out of here, man. Oh, and so we loaded up and we got out and went to our next date, which was, now when I say the places, I think I'm fucking letting it out of the bag here. So we go to, Slave Lake, and we get to Slave Lake, and we're in the band house, which is, just across the parking lot from the venue, the zoo. And, the guys set up and everything, and like, oh, hey Dave, come on, sound check. I'm like, okay. I go walking in there, and what is the backdrop? This big white bloody bed sheet is our fucking backdrop. I went in, I fucking started sweating. I'm like, is she here? Is she here? I look at the guys, and they're fucking folded over laughing. So that was probably one of the best pranks that was ever pulled on me.
God, oh my God. Okay, that started to go down the alley, but didn't steer into the lane I was hoping it wouldn't go to. That was okay, man. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna keep it clean here. So, crazy ass road stories. I mean, there's so many. I mean, like a carload of hookers chasing you to another town. that story is actually kind of funny. We were going to play the Sky Room in Calgary, and we had the week off. We were staying at the bass player's friend's place, and on the Monday that we're there, we're drinking, and and he starts telling us about this girl across the alley that once in a while likes to give a blowjob or whatever for $50 or whatever, and that's just a little part of it. So we keep on going. At one point on a Wednesday or Thursday, the guitar player shows up with a shitload of girls in this car and, telling me, the bass player, come on, we're going to a fucking party. We go to this party. I end up with this really nice, hot-looking, tall blonde, and we're having fun. And we play the Sky Room. We do everything, like in the room with this girl. Like, I'm having fun. She's hanging out for the whole week. And when it came time to drop her off, we went to go drop her off. And I realized that where we're going, we're now in the same fucking neighborhood. And not only in the same neighborhood, we were dropping this girl off across the alley from where the bass player's buddy left. And I just realized that I just screwed blowjob girl. Fucking what the fuck? It's a small city, I guess. I just didn't know I'd end up with this fucking girl. So, I got another one here, and it's not mine. Okay, and this is a really terrible fucking story. I laughed, but it was like I said, when we were recording Killinger's album and hanging out with Pete Holmes, he was the stories that he had, amazing. And the one that stuck with me because it's so fucking disgusting is that he was on tour with Motorhead. And he kept on asking Lemmy, like, hey, man, when can I jump on the bus and just ride to the next city with you? And play a couple more dates. And, he asked again, oh, yeah, okay, this time you can come up with us. And so, Pete Holmes is walking with some person, and they get on the bus, and then there's some girls that want to get on the bus. And some girls get on the bus. People are drinking, but this one girl is trying to drink everybody's drink and trying to drink whatever's around. She's just fucking lushing out, right? And then decides that she wants to now fuck everybody and plops her ass up on the fucking table and pulls it down. And so everybody's on the bus is having a poke at her, and Pete's just watching this shit go, wow. And at the end of the bus, because the door is open at the very end, is Lemmy. He's just sitting there playing his video games, smoking, having his drink, right? And he's down there the whole time watching all this, and he doesn't want any fucking part of it, right? And and this girl passes out. And it's just when Mickey D, gets on the bus, and Mickey D is fucking pissed off that this girl had fucking drank all the booze, and now even more pissed off that he can't fuck her because she's a dead fish, laying there on this fucking table. And he gets so fucking mad, he takes her panties, pulls down his pants, takes a shit in her panties, puts them on her, and then takes her nylons and takes one of the nylons and shits down one of the nylons and gets it down at the end. So it's now a little ball of shit at this, and goes like this and starts fucking whipping her. Pa! Pa! And Pete is freaking out. He's saying there's like shit juice now flying out of this because it's like a strainer. And boom, she wakes up. What the fuck? Wah! She's screaming. Everybody's screaming. You shit your fucking pants. And just, wah! She's screaming. It's just fucking pandemonium. Like, get the hell off my bus. Go up there and throw the purse is scattering and everything. And Pete's just sitting there just going, holy shit. And he remembers, he looks down and looks at Lemmy, and the whole time Lemmy's just like this.
Oh, hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot,
Just
hot, hot, hot.
Couldn't give a fuck, man. I mean, that story there, I mean, that's not my story.
Oh my God.
That's what Pete Holmes witnessed on the Warhead bus. So
that is just, jeez.
Disgusting.
Oh,
just
my God.
Yeah.
Dave, that's you made gold here tonight, my friend. You really did.
Well, if I fucking grossed anybody else, believe you.
No, you know what? They can handle it, man. Trust me. Dave, we've hit the 2-hour mark. I swore to God I wasn't going to go past 2 anymore. But I mean,
all right.
we can end on that note because that's just. I mean, I've hit the end of my questions, and And I mean, like, it's been a great show, man. You did a great job here tonight. I really do appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate it, man. The guests that you've had on, I was a little bit worried if I, had this sort of caliber of, sort of experiences and stuff. So when you asked me, I was just like, fucking absolutely. So thank you very much. I very much appreciate this. And whoever watched this stuff, and, thank you for tuning in. And always just, every Monday he's right there, and watch. Next Monday is Sawbones. And
Sawbones,
he's got some great stories too, man. He's got some great stories, and we're kind of talking about which ones we would talk about and maybe which ones we'd leave out. So he's got some great stories coming up. And like I said, we are at Shakers this Saturday, September 12th, with Cam McLeod, Powerhouse. Fuck, I love me some Cam McLeod, man. Yeah. So to be on a same stage and share a stage with him is another fucking great experience. And we have a bunch of new originals right now that we're going to be playing, and we'll be playing at least 4 or 5 of them, along with that song from Hotbox. And also, just an announcement right now, looks like I might be doing another movie. So as soon as I get more information on that, I'll put it on Facebook and let everybody know that what's happening with Crazy Dave. So thank you, man.
Singer, frontman, actor. That's why I put the actor part in there, buddy, because it's legit. You're Dave. Thanks, buddy. I love you, man. I love you, brother. And thanks for being a guest here tonight on the show. You did a great job. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Crazy Dave Williams. Renegade Eye playing here. Let me pull this back up here. Playing this Saturday night at Shakers Roadhouse in Edmonton. So go check those guys out. And thanks once again, brother. You take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon. All right?
Love you, bro.
Peace and love, man. Peace and love. Night, Dave. All right. Bye. Oh, jeez, I cut him off there. Jeez. One thing Dave said that I just want to follow up on with everybody out there tonight. Dave said he was worried about being, worthy of a guest. I got lucky the first few weeks. I've had some very excellent guests, and I want to continue doing this show, and I want to continue doing it for as long as I can, and as long as I've got somebody to talk to on that end out there, and as long as you guys keep tuning in. Nobody is any different than anybody else. You've all got road stories, okay? That's all I care about. The bios may be different. The bios may be bigger. They may be smaller. They may be this way. They might be that way. But it's all about the road stories. And just being here on a Monday night when, what the hell else are you going to do? Okay? Thanks. Appreciate you guys tuning in again here tonight. Fortification Security Solutions is my sponsor. Thanks to Fort McMurray, my favorite locksmith, and your favorite locksmith too as well. You need a hand, go see Fort. Just type in Fortification into Google and you will find his website. Don't forget as well too, I'm going to pull that down and do the due diligence here. Go to partyhog.com for more basement shows. Way to update your shit, buddy. Road story shows, that should say. Still left over from Semenko Dave's work. But anyway, we got more shows and stuff on there. Basement shows are on there. 20 of them. Season 1 is all on there. And this show will be on there as well, too. What else we got here? Leave a comment. I should have put that like a long time ago. See, Dave, I need you, buddy. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Well, there you go. Party Hog. There, go check me out on Facebook. I'm on YouTube as well at The Party Hog. I don't know why I had to put The Party Hog, but whatever. And just Party Hog on Instagram. There you go. That's how that works. So,
how dare you?
Yeah, how dare me. Anyway, thanks again for tuning in here tonight, folks. My guest next Monday night is Terry Sawbones Grant. He's a good dude. He's played a lot of bands, and he plays a 12-string bass. Now, some of you might know what a 12-string bass is, but some of you are hearing that for the first time, I'm sure, and going, a bass guitar with 12 strings on it? That's crazy. Well, I don't have Semenko Dave hanging around behind me here. My hair is just, I got bad fucking hair tonight, boys. Anyway, peace and love to you guys. Thanks for tuning in the show here again tonight. I am Mike Braniff, a.k.a. the Party Hog. I don't even think I said that at the beginning of the show. Where's my head at today? Back with the program next Monday night. Thanks again for tuning in, everybody. And, well, why didn't I hear that? Jesus, I must have that muted again. I did that last week, too. Anyway, love you guys. Here we go. Let's say goodnight. Love ya. See you next Monday, folks. Thanks again to Crazy Dave. Terry Sawbones.